also the triangle.
There you go. It's actually a pyramid.
Yes. Yeah. So many people just think of the 3 points, 1, 2, and 3. So when we're not thinking of the higher self, we are thinking in just the 2D. But the base is actually 4. To access our higher self, we have to access all 4 sides, the base going up to our higher self, the higher dimensions. So we can't stay in just that 2D. We have to think of it as a 4 and higher, really 3D and higher. So anyhow.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Could you tell me more about that, please? Because that is something new in my awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will expand a little bit because I'm still trying to understand it myself, you know? So when I was at the holistic conference, it was the morning of the sound healing session. And that still, I'm still processing everything that happened that day with the sound healer. It was freaking phenomenal, and having them fly someone out that nobody even heard of. I don't even know how they got in contact with her. I'm assuming that she's part of the American Holistic Nursing Association. But I don't know how that all went. You know, it was just that they're sending a sound healer for the session, and here she is. Super, super nice. And she had a quartz singing bowl that was infused with kyanite. And as soon as she hit that bowl, you know, just the small little tap with that mallet, it's like the whole room just went completely silent. And I was like outside my body, per se, looking in and around the building we were at.
Whoa.
Yeah, one tap. That's all that it was. And, you know, she just allowed that vibration just to just sing, you know. It wasn't like, okay, that's it, let's move on. No, she just allowed it just to echo and really fill the whole room and hitting everyone that was there. And as I was trying to kind of come back, because I mean, I don't know exactly how long it was. I'm going to say probably about like 10 minutes, something like that, maybe a little longer. And then she's trying to go on with her presentation. And I'm like, I just want to stay out here. I'm good. I can watch from out here. You know, it's like, I don't want to come back. But I slowly did. And as I was doing it, it was like this theory started to develop about the 4 bases of the triangle and how us as holistic individuals, we need to make sure that we're actually addressing all 4, because many people try to put in mind and soul together. They do. They kind of categorize it together. It's body, mind, spirit. Sometimes they'll do body, mind, soul, but then they'll leave out spirit. Well, where does spirit go then? Where does soul go?
Can you talk about the difference between soul and spirit? What is the difference?
Yeah. So when we get into going to those higher dimensions, it is a journey for me. I think mostly because when I did the Akashic reading later that evening with the sound healer, and
that sounds like an amazing day.
Oh, it was. It's like it's one of those days that I would love to see happen more often, but they don't. But when they do, it's like your whole world is just turned upside down in a good way, you know. But you're still trying to process.
I love the whole idea of the world being upside down, because for me, like, even just that idea of the world being upside down brings me back to one of my favorite video games.
Yeah.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yes.
And I mean, one of the best parts of that video game is when you finally think you got to the end.
Yeah.
And then the castle flips upside down and you have to do the whole game all over again
Yeah.
from
Hmm.
the end to the beginning.
And a
So
whole new
good.
perspective.
So good. I mean, that is just so that whole metaphor and that whole idea
Mm,
of your whole world upside down, it's like you're starting all over again from where you left off, which is kind
wow.
of generationally when you're thinking of Akashic records and you're thinking of your past lives, um, you're doing that so that you can pick up where you left off in,
Yeah.
in those lives. So it's so awesome to remember who you were
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
so that you can complete that mission, that you can complete those pleasures, so you can fulfill those um, emotions that you didn't get to feel when you were going through
Prior.
the journeys, to feel the whole world inside of you.
Very, very true. And what's interesting is as you're in those higher levels of yourself, typically one of the four bases is not there at the moment.
Oh my God, tell me more. I don't.
So here in this moment where we are physically right now in this timeline, we are living all four aspects of the base of the triangle.
Mm.
Okay. Previously, before that, you're at a higher dimension. So you're activating one more of those, maybe even higher than the other one, or not at all. So one of the levels that from my Akashic reading that I left from divine was the very next level right below divine and got to reflect the light of divine out to the universe. It was a really cool task, if you want to say, and I loved it. And I could see me really loving doing that, you know? But in that higher level, I didn't need physical side. It was more the spirit side. And me as spirit was able to reflect divine to the whole universe that was needing the light of the divine. So as you go higher, you can actually start losing some of the four bases that you're needing in the current moment.
Interesting. So the way that you're explaining that right now, I've been referring to a wall.
Hmm.
And when I was speaking to one of my friends recently, client that's been going through this journey, um, I've been going through this journey with her, and meeting a wall and being able to get above that wall. It's not just, at first I saw it as, we come across this to this wall that we've created for a purpose, and with raising our energy we're able to break down the wall. But this week I had the awareness that we weren't just breaking down these walls, we're actually flying above the wall. We're rising above the wall. The wall is still there, and we're just being able to rise above it and fly
Yeah,
above it. I've had this dream
I
for
love that.
years since I can remember having this dream, and it's all starting to make sense. So raising our energy, being able
Hmm.
to overcome these three-dimensional or two-dimensional
Yeah,
pyramids.
and going higher.
Yeah.
So here's another great example, and you're pulling that into what you're talking about too. That when you're accessing that higher self, when you're trying to go over the wall that's there, obviously it's not physical.
No, I
It's
mean,
not.
no, it is all internal. It is
Hmm.
all internal. It is all going beyond um, a prior level of having a mindset around what it is that you're experiencing,
Hmm.
and being able to see that mindset from above. As
Yeah.
when you heard that frequency, you were able to just rise above.
Exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So when we're raising our frequency, we're also able to see our thoughts and our prior mindsets from a different angle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's something that has been very apparent lately, that as you raise your energy, things just aren't as, they don't have as much power over you.
Mm.
You have
I
power
love
over
that. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So in that example of the base of the pyramid, you have to leave one of these to go higher. If you're meditating, you're not staying in the physical realm anymore, right? When you're doing mindfulness, you're not staying in the physical realm, you're going up higher. But all four of these have to be met in the moment for us to be whole.
How can we do that? Is that more like grounding?
Grounding is definitely a amazing tool that we don't account for enough as we should.
Yeah, before and after.
Yes, right.
Because we could
Correct.
stay flying up there.
I would not be opposed to staying out there a little more or longer, but we do have to come back.
Well, it's quite magical to be up there and grounded, and
Hmm.
while we're living this physical experience, and it's so much more powerful. So that's something that
Yeah.
will not just, like, you could still be in that realm,
Hmm.
energy. And in fact, part of my life lately has been trying to figure out how to consistently stay in that energy,
Yes.
while staying grounded has been the key for that.
Uh-huh.
And
Hmm.
it's so powerful because you can feel the energy from your toes to your crown, from your root to your crown.
Hmm.
You're walking around in this energy, which is this constant bubble that's protecting you. And
That's around it. Yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
and it's this energy of, I I like to, I think of it as like butterflies constantly trying to raise my vibration, my energy, myself, and they're just
Yeah.
constantly trying to raise me. They're when they're around me, when I'm in that energy, these butterflies
Mhm.
are around me as well, um,
Mm,
walking with me, giving me
that's
chills,
really
giving
cool.
me
Yeah.
shivers.
Where is that's really unique. I like that because it kind of pulls into something else. And I set it up here, and it may not be here at the moment. Also, we have like some storms that's rolling through. It's starting to rain right now. Nothing should be bad or anything, but if we lose connection, that's just why.
Hmm.
So while I'm trying to find this, because I have a great kind of visual, I believe that's going to go along with what we're discussing too. We can definitely get to a state where we're activating all four at the same time. So you can be in the physical and spiritual at the same time. Yes.
Okay,
You
awesome.
know?
Can you explain that, JR, please? Because I have been in that energy, but I don't really know how I got there.
Yeah.
Things are moving too fast in my world right now. Everything is happening quickly, and I'm just able to experience it and share it. And I'm so glad we're having this
To
conversation.
flow with it.
Yes, I'm flowing with it. I'm flying with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
walking with it.
So,
So
well, for many, you kind of have this intuition on how to access things. Okay. That's why we do need those guides and those individuals that things come to, they're activating that. It is a gift, of having somebody that is more in tune with both worlds. Okay, because that individual can help others activate that within themselves, because I believe that we all can do it. 100% we all can do it. And the best example that we can even pull into that is whenever we were a lot younger, like kindergarten, preschool, all that, we all have like active imaginations, right? We could see things that wasn't there. We could pull things and colors and imaginary friends and all this really cool, fun stuff. But the way that our society is created is that we start to destroy that intuitive individual because they want us to be more logical. And once we start down the logical route, not that we don't need logic, we do, but we have to balance it. And society tries to tell us that we just need to focus on just one of that. You know, it's more the logic side. That's what you're going to use in life. That's what you're going to need to be successful in life. Without this, you're going to be a nobody. And it's all these lies. Activate both, we are more successful.
One side of the pyramid, right? Logic will be one side of the pyramid.
Correct. Yep, that would be just the mind. And the mind does affect the soul. The soul is more that personality of who you are, the way you react. Your life experiences affects the soul. And I was reading a book not too long ago that brought up a term that I was like, ooh, I really like this. And I will start using it more and more, but soul rot.
Soul rot?
Mm-hmm. Soul rot, R-O-T.
What's that?
You are rotting from your soul.
Rotting?
Yes.
From the soul?
Yes. Yep. You are deteriorating. Your soul is becoming so deteriorated because your soul knows what you need from the spirit.
And can you explain why we're deteriorating and not enhancing our soul?
Because a lot of times, again, it's all about conditioning in the 2D world that creates this. Okay. So it's conditioning, going back to the logic. Okay. Your heart has desires, and your heart is actually your soul that is trying to tell you what you are needing. Okay. It's that intuition. Okay. Spirit side connects you to the divine to know like your life purpose. Soul knows what that is because it's connected very strongly with spirit. Okay. And when you're not living out your actual purpose, you start to rot from the inside. When we start rotting, that's when we have our soul being impacted, which then goes into the physical side and the mental side. Because when you know you're not doing what you are wanting to do, when you know you're not desired, like you're not fulfilling that desire, you know, it's like people that know for sure. I'm like, they're living in this environment that they know is not who they are. They have this dream of doing something different, but because of the logic, the mind side, it says you can't do that. That's not logical. That doesn't make sense in society. So when we start to deny our soul because of the logic and mind, we start to rot from the inside. And that has so much more what is the perfect word I'm trying to say, because it doesn't just affect just one part of our aspect of the whole being. Those repercussions go so far down into our roots of who we are. We start to change our vibration of our body because now we're not going at that high vibration because we're not living life where we should be. We've actually lowered that vibration. And when we start to lower vibration, that is when we start to develop the illness and diseases that our bodies can take on. Because we're never meant to live on this lower vibration plane. Hopefully that kind of answered how you can soul rot and how you can only, like, many people like to focus on just one aspect of the whole body. And it's devastating when people know, especially that soul dream and desire, that this is what they dream about doing. They know they're supposed to be doing it, but they hold themselves back, and it destroys them.
Oh my God. I feel like you're talking to me for some reason. And that's just, I don't understand, but I feel like that's probably going to resonate with a lot of people because we are awakening to our soul purpose.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm someone that's constantly tuning into my soul. And I know there's people out there that are not doing that. And they need to, because that is what's going to bring this world to life. What's going to bring your world to life, your kids' world to life, your partner's world to life, your business to life. Like it's so much. Like that's really the living part within us that wants us to use this physical body, this vehicle that we have.
Yes. Preach it, girl.
Mind that is creating all these thoughts from our roots. Which are so valid because they're who we are. However, these are roots that have not grown as wide, as thick, as nourished as we are currently growing these roots. Or not. Maybe we're not growing those roots. Maybe they're shrinking. Maybe they're shivering, like you're saying, like the soul.
Yeah, nourishing.
So in nourishing these roots, we are going to have a better effect in tuning into our heart, which will then create better mindsets and better flowing thoughts, better logic around the life that we're living and the life that we can create.
Yes.
Because one of the things that stops us from our dreams is our fears. And our fears are deeply rooted in us, in our root chakra, in our, past experiences. So, working with that and befriending those parts of us, really allowing those parts of us to elevate, because if you're saying it, we're not meant to live in that lower vibration. We're meant to elevate that. We're meant to bring it up to the next level.
The higher planes.
Higher dimensions. I hope we're not losing people with this conversation.
This is very deep today, okay, everyone? I don't know how we got here, but we did. Welcome to our conversations. Yes, like we always have great conversations and trying to understand it too. I believe this is like one of those that you have to go back and rewatch.
Maybe we'll use this conversation and break it down into all the little bits, and we'll be able to.
Yes.
So if you're watching this and you have questions and there's something that you're not understanding and you want a deeper dive into any of it, send it our way. Can you let us know, because we would love to break it down for you as well.
100%
flowing through. We did not plan this. I told you I can't continue to plan. I need to I've been told I can't plan anymore. So we're taking action. So messy action. If you're confused, let us know. Oh, I love that. Whoa. Can you just draw that when we were talking?
No, I drew this a few months ago.
Oh, that would be pretty.
Probably back in December. This here, we're talking about the chakras, okay? And we know the root one, the root chakra, which is the red, and how that
Push it a little bit, change it. Move back.
Actually pull
There,
back.
right there. There you go. Perfect. Don't move. Talk.
Okay, I see you. So yeah, the root chakra, which is at the bottom, it's the base here, and that's what supports your whole being when you're trying to be who you are, which is why they call it the base, right?
Ooh, or support or root.
So yes, right. So in this grand scheme of things, I might have to go like grab another sheet of paper. So this is going to be terrible. When I like to draw, I like to take time. Okay, not that I have to have it perfect, but I want it to look presentable. So this is one of those moments like don't judge my drawing or my skill here. So if and I'm gonna like make this because we're not trying to take all day and this would take me a while. So
It's not the final piece of the puzzle, guys and girls watching this. There.
yes. Okay, so this is gonna look really low. Okay, so trying to get this
Little tiny
focused.
guy or
Yeah,
girl.
see this little person? Yes, this is you. Okay,
This is me.
this is you. Yes, and as an amazing, phenomenal individual that you are, I'm going to try to draw this in the best way possible. Like I said, you, and I bet I can do it this way.
And inside a pyramid.
You are inside the pyramid. Those four bases of the pyramid is your soul, body, mind, and spirit.
Hmm.
You are in the center of this pyramid.
That is
So
so exciting.
going to higher dimensions and planes, we all can do it because this is how we're designed. Now we're going to throw in one more aspect that you just touched on. I'm glad you did, because this expands this knowledge and theory a little bit more. Is now you have this bubble that's around it. This is your vibrational field. And as you were given a great example, which is not going to be the best on here, but I'm going to add this very quickly and briefly. I know some people are like, well, even though it's like you're doing it really quickly, it still looks better than my drawings. I'm not judging our drawings. And now we have our little butterflies that you're just saying that's around in your field.
Are you creating that just for me or is this like real life?
Everything. This is everything. Yeah.
For everyone.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not just
You're
me.
just connecting other parts. So we're at the base of this triangle. Okay. And we have our energy field. And our field, is supposed to be pretty wide around us. Okay. So when you're actually living in the 4D realm higher, you're accessing all at the same time because there's data, there is information that's shared within that field that if we would just take a moment and slow down in a way, I get it that when you're at this higher vibration, it seems like things speed up a lot more. It's like time is no longer the traditional time tracking that we know it as in the physical realm.
No,
We're
I
at the
think
base of the
the higher you go, the faster things happen because you're jumping from one dimension to another, literally.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yes. 100%. And what comes to mind for those that have some kind of biblical background is that in the spirit realm, when you go to those higher vibrations, 1 year physically is like 1,000 years in the spirit realm. And that's really beyond our comprehension. Okay. I know we're trying to think about What? So like 1 year physically is like 1,000 years in the spirit realm.
Yeah. And one of the things that's coming up for me as you say that is the way that that would make sense for people here, and how that would benefit us is those 1,000 years, that conversion of 1 year equals 1,000 years. What I'm thinking is almost like we are remembering these parts of us that are 1,000 years old.
Yes. Yeah.
Memories, um, that are ingrained in our DNA,
Mm-hmm.
um, which comes with emotions in our bodies.
Yeah.
It's these energies that flow within us, reminding us of who we are, and they're showing up for us little by little, but sometimes they show up all at once.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
The big party
And
emotions. We're like, oh, I'm not ready for this party.
so uh, what comes up to me as you're saying that, if we think about it in this timeline, we're talking about the timeline that we are living right now. Okay, I gonna confess that I just celebrated my 38th birthday,
Woohoo!
living in this realm in this timeline. Okay, uh, everyone you usually say I look a lot younger, and I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, Jake, you're
But
21 forever.
yeah, right. I will be 21 forever. I think that's the perfect age in this timeline, put it that way. But if we think about this timeline, so I've been alive for 38 years, right? So in spirit realm, the information that I am putting out in this timeline is 38,000 years of data and knowledge that I'm putting out into the spirit realm for information.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Try to process that, you know? So as we are living in this timeline, in this realm of where we are at the moment, each year that we're living is 1,000 years in the spirit realm. So the data and the information that we are taking in, through our daily activities, we are putting out at the same time. In the spirit realm, it speeds up. There's so much out there of just this timeline. So when we start thinking about like past lives, I've had a few experiences now where I've accessed some of my previous journeys, which was pretty freaking phenomenal and amazing. But if I lived, let's say, only 8 years in a past life, that's 8,000 years of data and information that's in my field that I can pull into. So when we're trying to really access the deeper part of us and who we are and connecting, we have a lot more info and knowledge that's around us that we don't even know is sitting there. And then when we start connecting ourselves, going inward, because we have the tools that we need, we can start connecting to other people. And it's like this crazy amount of data, just like the internet. Because now when we can, and we're talking about energy, and this is still way out there for many individuals, but you have to have permission to access someone else's information. Okay. um, when you come in agreement, like say us two, our energy is like vibrating at like the same lengths many of the time. Right? But we know each other and we're comfortable and our energy can exchange info. As we're just talking right now, even though we're in two different places, we're still in the same timeline. So things that I am accessing, I'm actually also given to you in your energy field right now. So this 1,000 years of information that my spirit knows that's giving me, I get to have that privilege as a amazing healer and just someone that working in the holistic realm to give it to other people's energy field also. So the knowledge that I access, you have that ability to access because I'm giving it to you, and vice versa. If you were to put that out, then that person can pull that information to them also. And a great example of this, because this is pretty deep on where this is going, but and we think about this many times in a whole different aspect, but when someone comes in the room and they're like vibrating at the higher vibration, they light up the room. They light up the room. And not only that, you know when they came into the room because that data and that vibration is being sent out to you to access. That's how you pick it up. Okay? Flip that if somebody's not flowing in a higher vibration and it's pretty low. And when we go to a low vibration, we do not like ourselves. We don't like ourselves. We don't like others. And you can feel that when someone walks into the room, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, I'm very intuitive with that. True. Yes, you can sense that. I'm not saying that you can't, but it goes way beyond that. That you can start accessing data from them. So when people or individuals, when they say that they're like intuitive and they can start accessing knowledge about you, how do you think they're doing that?
Your energy field.
It's your energy field of the data that you have around you in that circle.
It's a Wi-Fi connection.
It is, yes. So,
yeah.
Many of us, if you start to ground yourself and do that inner work, your intuition is going to improve because you're starting to discover you. And when you start to do that, you get tools to start discovering other people too that you can sense when they come in and data about them.
It's so exciting.
So that's a long way of going with all this dimensional stuff.
Yeah, and shifting the whole idea of it sucks to feel other people's energy to, oh, this is awesome. Like I get to feel other people's energy. So there's a way out of for all the empaths out there that are able to, because we're all have this field, this energy field, and it comes with a lot of work to shift that route. However, you have somebody that can raise you up to a higher vibration. Your work is not that much, because what I like to see, and when I work with clients and other people that are in a lower vibration and I'm in the higher vibration, it's like I'm able to send a little elevator
yes
to their hell, because that's what's being happened to me. Like that's what's happened to me. Like they'll send a little elevator to my hell and just take me up to paradise and to heaven, wherever they are. So there is an elevator. And if you have
there is
coach to bring you up constantly there. Yeah. Super important
100%.
On this journey as we ascend. We all need one. We just got to find the one that resonates with us.
The
path we're taking.
And I have a good example with that comes to mind that happened to me maybe a little over a year ago when I started really my own holistic practice with singing bowls. But when we think about someone that's on a lower vibration, think about a singing bowl that nobody's been using. Okay? So it's sitting there. It wants to go a higher vibration and wants to allow its voice to sing so it can help others, but it's just sitting there and nobody's doing anything with it. So then you have two choices that could happen. You could have someone come along and you could use their tools to tap that bowl so it can start that vibration process. And that speeds it up because, that person's helping them. But also, if you didn't know this, because I found this by accident. I love these little accidents. They're not accidents. We consider them accidents, but they're not. But I was just replaying one of my singing bowl sessions that I was doing. And I would hit pause and I would still hear the sound. I'm like, what's going on? You know? I'm like, the music is stopped, nothing's playing, but I'm still hearing the sound of the singing bowl. So then I turn it on again, listen, and then turn it off, and it's still doing it again. So then I'm like, okay, let me find out where the sound's coming from. So I'm like putting my ear around everything, like, where is it at? Where is it at? It's the singing bowl that I used in the recording. But I didn't tap it. I didn't tap it whatsoever. It's still sitting there, but I'm playing the replay, and all of a sudden it is vibrating at the same frequency of what I was playing.
Whew.
So the example that you're using, that a coach, somebody that's at that high vibration, if you come in contact with them, your vibrational tune is going to be activated, and it's going to pull you up higher just by being around that individual. And if you don't believe me, go get you a singing bowl and try that exercise out, okay? Record you playing just one singing bowl, record it, and then stop playing and replay it, and that bowl that you used will actually start vibrating at that same frequency. Same with tuning forks. If you tap a tuning fork that's at the same frequency and note with one that you haven't tapped, that vibration of the one you did tap is going to start vibrating the one next to it.
I've never done this experiment, so I'm going to do this today and probably record it. And I want to challenge anybody that watches this that wants to try this on their own to do so and record themselves and send us a little video, post a little video on
That would be awesome.
Tag. We got to come up with a tag for this by the time this comes out live, because it sounds so fun. I would love to hear that. Like all of the people that get to do that, because I've never done this experiment before, and that sounds awesome.
Yes, that's what coaches do, right?
Yeah.
We're not doing it for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're doing it as a service to others.
I feel like they're my butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that within your sphere and your realm.
I have a lot of people in my life that I look up to.
Yeah. And they need to be there for us, in that realm and that sphere of influence that's right there around us in our energy field.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Thank you for clarifying these things and bringing them to the physical world for us to understand.
Well, I'm still learning. That's one thing that I think as a holistic practitioner, actually really anybody. And I know we've learned this because we've gone through the same training, right? But it's that growth mindset, that learner mindset that is occurring, that as long as we keep that going, we're going to keep improving and we're going to keep growing ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly, the more we get to dive into ourselves, transmute our energy, alchemize our thoughts, we are constantly bringing back to life parts of us that have died in prior years and even in this lifetime. So we are constantly bringing ourselves to life a little bit more and more each day. And recognizing that is a journey that you start to go on. The more you enjoy that, the more you really get to be fascinated by this. I mean, just today, I had no idea this was going to happen. We were going to be having this wonderful conversation and just taking it one day at a time and allowing ourselves to be enchanted by the magic that's inside of us and all around us. So this energy that's all around us, it feels like magic, but it's not, I mean, it feels magical, and that's
yeah, it does feel magical, doesn't it?
yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm that preschooler again, the excitement of the magic around us.
Well, we get to be our selves again, and I think that we are ourselves when we are kids, when we are uninhibited from being joyful about all the parts of us, everything that makes us happy and excited and that lights us up. And I know for you as a generator in the human design, like you need to be doing things that bring you joy all the time. So it's bringing that kid alive back to life, letting it be seen, that grown-up kid.
Yeah.
Little boy and little girl inside of us. So
we need to nourish, right?
We need to nourish that, and we need to bring that back to life. Bring all those kids back to life.
Yeah. That's I believe that's when we are our true authentic self, right?
Yeah. Let's save our children within ourselves. All of the ones that have been murdered within ourselves.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Because of whatever may have happened inside, the experiences, the condition that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And and we need to do this too, especially as parents. Those parts of us that are not so great, that we deny or that we still don't see as great, they're wounded, and those wounds get activated by our children, and they're the last people that we want to be taking this out on. However, it happens, and they try to bring it to our attention. And they're here to save us. They're here to save us. They're here to guide us. They're here to bring out that inner child. And but we don't want to put that job on them alone, because it's a lot of responsibility.
Oh yeah.
That we need to bring that back to ourselves. Take charge of our own healing so that we can enjoy happier days.
Yeah.
Especially if you've had a childhood of trauma and you're still living in that hell, you're still living in that trauma, you're still living in that disease. There is a way out. There is a way on the other side. And it's part of a journey. It's part of getting back who you are.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to turn this so
no. I don't think that you did at all. You're stabilizing the frequency at the moment. You're pulling it to a relatable state for others to understand. Because many times when we're up there at that high frequency that I like to stay at a lot of times, it's harder for people to understand. So sometimes we do have to pull it down. It's not that we are harming ourselves with our frequency, but we have to pull it down to match that person that we're talking to, whoever that is out there. Just like the singing bowl example, whatever that frequency that I was playing, I had to match that. And these are keys and nuggets for people to understand. It's foundational. A lot of times it's in our root chakra, So many people have issues with the root chakra, and this is why. If we don't really dig into that and allow those roots to be nourished, if we don't get rid of the ones that are rotting, we're not going to be able to go to a higher dimension. And we have to know who we are.
And in doing that work, you do go to a higher dimension. So that's kind of, it works hand in hand.
Exactly.
Doing that work, it's part of where you're here.
Oh, yeah. 100%. If you don't do the work, then it's going to be really hard to get up there, because that shadow person, that former you that you've come accustomed to, is going to pull you back down.
Until you learn those lessons that you're meant to learn so that you can rise.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to learn those lessons if you're replaying the same video over and over, which is the same mindsets that we have.
Yes. Yep.
We're replaying the same mindsets, we're replaying the same patterns. So we have to go into a different different frequency, different habits, different mindsets, so that we can be a different person. Which is okay. You know, if you're if better.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. It's okay.
Yeah.
But you're not alone.
No, we're all doing this.
Yes. Don't ever, ever, ever think you're alone. That is one of the lowest frequency that somebody can step into. Really, I think that is, if not the lowest point that somebody can actually hit. Because once you feel alone, your vibration is so low that you can't see another way.
Yeah, I think that's definitely for another topic, because we can talk about that and all the dangers that come with that, and multiple things that can happen when you come out of that state. So it's a dangerous place to be in.
Oh yes, yeah.
And stay.
And I don't want to see anybody hit that state or stay in that state.
No, so I mean, we do have. I guess we have to be in that state at some point in our life so we can understand it.
Yeah.
Not meant to stay there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've hit that state before.
Wow, me too. I have not.
You know? Yeah.
And sometimes you can access it every day if you want, because it's always part of you, right? Just like you can access parts of you. You can access the higher parts of you. So, choices, habits, patterns.
We can access it, just don't stay there.
Yeah, we can also access other wonderful parts of us.
Yep. All the time if we want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we are beyond our time. This is why we have to record, because we have so much amazing conversation and it just goes naturally.
Yeah.
No script whatsoever. We promise you all. There is no script to this.
I can't follow a script. Ask everyone that's trying to give me a script.
I mean, if we were to write a script, that would be a off the wall kind of script that wouldn't even make sense. Okay.
I hope this made sense for all of you watching.
Yeah, right. If not, don't worry. We'll break it down again in another episode where we can go deeper for sure.
Yeah, I mean, these are huge downloads coming through as we speak.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah.
So sometimes it's faster than we can process and understand. And as our audience watches this, they're going to help us figure out what needs more clarity and what they want to learn more about, and we're open for that.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
I think we just resonate to be able to do that. Find someone you resonate with. That's going to be my words of wisdom for this episode. Find someone you resonate with.
Find the frequency you want to be in and follow that frequency. Follow that light. Follow that energy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, well, I think I'm done for the moment. How about you?
I'm done. I gotta go.
Well, thank you all for watching. You can always reach out to us, comment below, let us know what's going on, thoughts, what resonated with you. You can always reach out to us, and we'll have our emails here. We'll have our emails displayed below too, so you can reach out to us if you are wanting to know more. We're here for you. We're here to support you. We don't want you to be alone, and we want you to access the higher vibrations that you are called and meant to be. Okay, so I guess that's it. Until next time, everyone, have a great day.
Bye. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us.